Hi guys, and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. My name is Crystal. If you enjoy this video, please hit that like button and turn it blue. For more What's for Dinner videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. You can also share this video on your social media page with friends or family by clicking the share button. And if you recreate any of these meals, please tag me either on Facebook or Instagram using this hashtag. My family and I love seeing all the meals being recreated, so let's get started. So for our first meal, I'm going to be making some grilled chicken kebabs. The first one that I'm going to make is I'm going to be making a sweet and spicy marinade for it. And I'm going to start by prepping my veggies. I'm using bell peppers and onions. I will be putting the ingredients down in the description if you want to make this, so go ahead and check that out. I will also be linking a video from Domestic Geek. I saw her video a couple of years ago, and ever since then I've been making these chicken kebabs. I have tweaked a little bit the recipe, but definitely since I was inspired by her, I will put down her video. And in that video she also shares a steak and mushroom kebab as well as a vegetarian one, so definitely go check it out. So there is a little prep work for this, but it's definitely worth it. If you don't like bell peppers or onions, you can definitely skip it out. I will also be adding canned pineapple to this as well. That's actually my favorite part of these chicken kebabs, and these are great for parties or for just to have at home. We normally do grill them outside, but on this day it was very gloomy and rainy, so we just cooked them inside. I will also be linking down a video where I showed you guys, I think we filmed it in 2018 on this channel, and I will link down that video of showing you guys how we grilled them outside if you guys want to check that video out as well. And pretty much all I'm doing is cutting the bell pepper and the onion bite size, and then I'm just putting this in a Ziploc just to have it on the side, since I'm gonna let the chicken marinate for a couple of hours. And this is, like I said, this is just part of the prep work, and just to make things easier, you can also cut all these veggies a night before or early in the morning like I did, just for easier prep work. So now I'm cutting chicken breast. I am doubling my recipe, so you will see the recipe down below. It'll just be the half of this size. I'm using 4 chicken breasts and chicken thighs. The chicken thighs had the bone on them, so what I did was I left some meat on them, and you can definitely freeze them if you have chicken bones, and I will use that to make a chicken stock. And I put all the chicken cut up in bite-sized pieces, and I have it in this bag just to marinate and just for easy cleanup. So I'm going to be adding some black pepper and then some Lori seasoned salt just to season it up, and then I'm going to show you what other ingredients I add to my marinade. So now I'm going to be adding some soy sauce, and I was surprised how much soy sauce I was able to get out of these little soy sauce packages. I know, I am the ones that save them in the fridge. And then I'm going to be adding the rest of it. I did need a cup since I was doubling it, but I think I was able to get about 3/4 of it, or a little over 3/4 of it, but it made it happen. It still tasted pretty good. So I'm going to be adding that soy sauce, and then I'm going to be using another little packet of chili red peppers. That when you get pizza, I think they see a big family and they send us a lot of extra packaging, and I don't throw them away, I save them. And then I normally use sriracha, but I did have extra chili packets, and I don't usually like these when we eat out. They don't taste the same as sriracha, but in this marinade it's not a big deal, so I added a few of those. And this chicken marinade is sweet and spicy. It has a little kick to it, but nothing too extreme, but definitely my girls cannot eat this. And then I'm going to be adding the pineapple juice drained from the can. You're going to need about a cup. And then I use ground ginger because it's just easier for me to use. But if you prefer or you have fresh ginger, go ahead and use that. And all I do is I close the Ziploc bag and then just make sure I give it a good little mix, and then I will let this marinate anywhere between 30 minutes to up to a couple of hours. Mine was able to marinate for a good 4 to 5 hours. I was able to put it in the fridge and went on with my day. And since this one is very spicy, my girls will not eat this one. So I'm going to be making them a very simple teriyaki one that I'm going to show you. So I just add a little bit of black pepper, and this is my favorite teriyaki marinade to use. This is the lower sodium one that I was excited I was able to find. Usually at Costco they just have the regular one. So I added a good cup of it, just a little over a cup, to that chicken, and that is a total of 6 pieces of chicken. So definitely if you're making this a smaller portion, you can use half. And then just quick easy cleanup. I love those Clorox wipes because I am using chicken and it is getting messy, just to have easy cleanup. And now I'm going to be prepping the skewers. I do soak the skewers for about an hour just so that they don't burn. And then I'm going to be assembling up. You can assemble them however you want. If you don't like the veggies, you could skip out the veggies, but I think it gives it a really good flavor. And then I just put a piece of chicken breast, a piece of pineapple, a piece of onion, and then the bell pepper, and then I just go on like that. Definitely when I do these, I try to get the colorful peppers and the onions because I think it looks really pretty, but I have done it with just regular white onions and it tastes just as great. But I really love seeing all the color, and like I said, this is perfect for like a party or for when you're having family over. We did have my brother visiting us on this day as well as his girlfriend, so it's just perfect. My double recipe, I made 26 of these skewers and then 21 of the teriyaki ones. So I have this panini press that turns into a grill. I'm going to be using that, and then also adding some cooking spray. And then I cut up an onion, and I use this outside when we grill, or when my husband grills actually. I don't know why I did it inside. I was being very silly. You definitely don't have to do this. And then I'm just going to place them and let them cook, and I'll show you what it looks like plated up.
But we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down.
So this time for the teriyaki ones, I didn't add veggies to them. I normally do, but since my girls were mainly going to be eating them, I decided not to add the veggies because they just take them off anyways. But if you want to add just some onion, bell peppers, and pineapple to this as well, you can definitely do that. I've also added zucchini in the past, but this time I just made it very simple. I just added 4 pieces of chicken to it, and I cooked it this way, and my girls really enjoyed those, since the other ones, the sweet and spicy ones, do have a little kick to them.
Sky is falling down. I got this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you. And there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we want to do. 'Cause we got all the time in the world. For better or worse, we should stay together.
So this is what it looks like all plated up. I just make some steamed rice, and very simple. You have your chicken, you have your veggies, and if you like that sweet and spicy combo, you will definitely like these kebabs. But if you like just teriyaki, very simple and very fun to eat. And this was dinner on this day.
Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you. It's all about you.
So on this day, I had some tomatoes that I really wanted to use up. I'm going to be making an avocado salsa, and pretty much it's like a guacamole, but instead of smashing up the avocados, what you'll do is you'll cut them up in cube size. I also had some cilantro that I needed to use up. So pretty much I'm going to dice up the tomatoes, the onions. I am using 4 aguacates, and then a chile serrano. Going to add some lime juice and some salt. But definitely if you do not like it spicy, you can skip out the chile serrano. I only added 1 and it just gave it a little kick. I love making this too because I don't have to make a salsa, but on this day we did buy a store-bought one to dip with chips as well too. So as you see, I am just dicing up the onions pretty small because I do like them really small, but sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, I will just give it a rough chop. And you will see me chopping everything up, mixing it all together. And like I said, it's very simple and delicious to add to tacos, to salads if you like that too, or any like a tostada or a sopes, or even just to dip with a chip. This avocado salsa is really, really delicious. And then here you'll see me cutting up the chile serrano. Like I said, if you do not like it spicy, just skip the chile serrano, or if you want a little kick but not too, you want a mild taste, you can also use like a jalapeno. You can also take out the seeds if you want to, but we always leave the seeds in. We like it spicy.
Ser el hombre de tu vida, tener niños y estar en un altar. Tu belleza no se me olvida.
So as you can tell, those tomatoes have seen better days, but it still worked out. They were pretty good. I was using up what I had in my fridge, and as you can tell also, I am cutting the aguacates on my hand. This reminds me of the way my grandma would cut them. Also too, my husband, grandma, she passed away, both of them would chop up like this. Definitely be careful. Don't do this if you don't know how to do this, but if you do, you know, you're at your own risk. I just wanted to show you guys this because that's how I was cutting the aguacates. My hands are clean. Yeah, so I'm just chopping it up, but very soft. And while I'm editing, I'm sped up, but it is very soft and I'm being very careful. But definitely you can chop this up on a cutting board. You don't have to do it this way. So like I said, once everything is nice and chopped up, I add lime juice. I did add 2 fully limes to it. You don't have to add so much, but I like it very lemony. But it wasn't too much. It was just like a perfect balance. And then just a little bit of salt. I also leave 1 of the avocado pits in there. This just helps to prevent it from turning brown. So if you make guacamole, always leave 1 of the avocado pits in there. Just make sure you don't eat it, because this will help prevent it from going brown as fast. Also too, that lemon juice will also help. And then to go alongside our aguacate salsa, we're going to be cooking up some carne asada, also too some chicken adobada, and as well as our first time trying this chorizo. And this chorizo, especially for tacos, it was very meaty and it was very, very delicious. I'm definitely going to be buying that again. The chicken adobada that we bought is already marinated. My girls really like chicken adobada tacos. Also, they're traditionally pork. So we really like that. If you guys are looking for a marinade for that, you could definitely find one on YouTube. I'm going to be testing one out and trying some out and see how we like them. And if we do, I will share that with you guys. And then we also have some carne asada. I do have a video on showing you guys how to make an easy 2-ingredient marinade, which is pretty much the Lori seasoned salt and lime juice marinate and layered. If you guys want to check out that video, you can check it out in the description. I will link it down below. But if you want to add more to a marinade for carne asada, I will add as well as the lemon juice, the Lori seasoned salt, some oranges, and even a beer, and let that marinate, and you will have a very flavorful carne asada, which is beef. So definitely you guys can go check that out if you guys want to. But this was so good, and my husband was the one cooking this up. During the summer, we pretty much grill outside every weekend, or we're pretty much outside all weekend. But we love tacos. I've always said it on my channel. Any day is taco day. I do not need to wait for Tuesday to be a taco day. And then this is the salsa. My mother-in-law bought it at a party that we went to, and it was so good. And it's like a restaurant style, and it's perfect to dip with chips. So my husband bought it again, and then he also got some chips for the girls. These are Doritos. These are so good. Growing up, my mom would make them. They come in like wheel shapes or different shapes, just with like lemon and chile. Those are so good.
Hi guys, I got for you to go your chicken.
Hey, hola.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Bien, gracias, todo bien. Que pasen un buen tarde, ¿ok? Que Dios los bendiga. ¿Sí es esta salsa o no?
Sí.
¿Gustan?
Oh, sí.
Que si gustan.
Comiendo pollito.
Comiendo pollito.
So as you saw, we did have my in-laws over on this day, and this is my plate. Instead of using a tortilla, I use those Doritos to dip the salsas and the meat in. I added a little bit of that salsa and also a little bit of the aguacate salsa. My mother-in-law also brought aguacates and also brought some carnitas on the side.
¿Un taco de qué? ¿De campesano, dijiste?
Un campechano taco.
¿Cómo
Chorizo con carne asada.
y el chicharrón?
¿No?
Ah,
So that was my husband's plate. He just added a little bit of everything, and you know we're totally parents when you eat off a kid's plate. This is my plate. I got a little bit of carne asada, chorizo, and adobada, and this was dinner on that day. My mother-in-law had a queso taco. Some of my girls ate quesadillas also besides the tacos. And then my husband's plate and my father-in-law's. And then it wasn't carnitas. It was actually chicharrón that she brought.
Ay, viene. Corrida, gordo. Comida corrida.
Si quieres. ¿Cómo hiciste ¿Cómo hiciste las carnitas ¿Cuál es? ¿Puerco de qué es?
Costilla.
Costillita de pollo.
Pero, cosita de puerco. ¿Y cómo la preparaste? ¿Cómo la preparas? ¿Con la salsa?
Es con agua y un poquito de sazonado y un pedazo de cebolla.
Ah, ok.
Agarra tu plato, ¿qué?
Gordo, pero mira, no me sale eso.
¿Qué más que está?
¿Qué más le echas? ¿Cebolla y qué?
Para cocerla.
Ajá.
¿Cómo se llama? Ay, ¿cómo se dice?
Con salsa de Goya.
Sazonador. Y en el licuado cocen los tomatillos con chile de árbol.
Ah, ok. Sí, mire.
Le quitas el agua.
Mira qué fui, así es que
¿Está cocido? Le quitas eso porque tiene mucha grasa.
Ah, sí.
Entonces le quitas ese caldo.
Sí.
Vas a ponerle
Y luego le echas chile, lindo rojo.
El de la licuadora, ¿verdad?
Sí, eso lo coces, los tomates y los chiles.
Y salsa
Le
Goya.
pones unos
So my husband is being very silly, so it was hard to my mother-in-law to explain. But quickly, my girls, this was very spicy for them, so they quickly brought their own cup of noodles, and they had that instead. And then this pork that she cooked it and then drained off the fat. She seasoned it with Lori seasoned salt and garlic, and then in the blender she added tomatillos, onion, chile de árbol, cilantro, and chicken bouillon, and added that sauce to it until it was fully cooked.
I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever.
So I love buying garlic like this. I usually get it at the 99-cent store. And it's usually 2 ounces. Got this at Trader Joe's. And it's 4 ounces. It was 4 ounces for $1.99. So I was like, okay, that's the same price. And I'm there, so might as well get it. And it comes with like 4 of these. Each time I make my lasagna, I make it different every time. I switch up things, but what doesn't change is, for the most part, I use ground beef. Definitely you can use whatever you have on hand. You can make this meatless. You can make this with ground turkey. My husband isn't a huge fan of ground turkey. I think in lasagna it would have slept, like, I would have been able to do it. He would have been okay with it, but I didn't have ground turkey. And also too, he doesn't mind it in when I make it with spaghetti, but I don't have any ground turkey. This ground beef that I have, but like I said, he's not a huge fan of ground turkey. I feel like as long as you flavor ground turkey right, it'll be okay. So I just added, you know what, I'm gonna add a more garlic clove because I am cooking 2 pounds. So this is 2 pounds of ground beef. I get that ground beef from Costco. I really like using that one. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add my seasonings. Like I said, I do make it different each time, but my seasonings usually don't change. So I'm gonna add some black pepper. I'm gonna add the Lori seasoned salt. And I don't go too crazy, you know, just what seems enough. When it's fully cooked, I will taste it. If it needs more, I'll add more. And then I'm just going to add very little bit of this garlic salt. I'm going to cook this up. Let it get fully cooked and brown. And then I'll add my sauce on top. And then I'll get on with the next step. Okay, so I'm going to be working on the filling part. I have cottage cheese that I need to use up, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the lasagna. I know some people use ricotta, some people use cottage cheese. I use both, but I noticed, like I said, we had some cottage cheese. I bought it and I put it in the back of the fridge, and I think we ate it a couple of times, and I completely forgot about it in the back of the fridge. So it's pretty full. So I need to use this up because it's going to go bad soon. And I'll use as much as I can, and the rest I'll try to see if my daughter wants to eat some with honey and fruit. That's her favorite way to eat it. But like I said, I forgot that this was in the back of my fridge and I could not see it. So I'm going to use probably about 2 cups. But if anything, I will let you know right now. I have this block of cheese. Usually when I make lasagna, whatever cheese I have on hand, you know, I'm not too picky. But if I do have like a mozzarella, I prefer using that. But what I have on hand, okay, as I was saying, so I have Monterey Jack cheese. I usually like to use a mozzarella, but this is what I have on hand. So I always say work with what you got. In some cases you gotta stick to the recipe. In some cases, literally work with what you got. If you prefer ricotta cheese, use ricotta cheese. You can also do a mixture of ricotta and cottage cheese. I've seen people do that. You know, add whatever you want. You want to add some onions to your ground beef, work with what you got, work what's in your budget. Yes, mamas? Yeah, watching my niece. So I'm gonna shred this up because this is what I have. I don't have any shredded cheese, so I'm gonna shred that up. And then I also have some eggs. I'm gonna be using 2 eggs right now that you'll see me crack. I also have some black pepper. I usually don't add salt to this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I won't today because usually the cheese and the cottage cheese have enough sodium for me. And then the beef is really well seasoned. And then I'm going to be adding some Italian seasoning and some parsley flakes. I usually just add the parsley flakes, but I just bought some Italian season. I just opened it to smell it to see what it smells like. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. But look at, I feel like I got gypped. Literally the seasoning is like up to here, but this was only 99 cents, so not a bad deal. So I'm going to shred the cheese, and then I'm going to make the mixture right now while my ground beef is cooked. Okay, I was going to start shredding my cheese, but pretty much this beef is cooked up. I tasted it for seasoning, just needed a little bit extra, the Lori's seasoned salt, just a little bit extra. And then my mother-in-law gave me this Prego sauce, so I was looking for it everywhere, and funny story, I put it in the fridge. Wasn't even open yet, and I put it in the fridge. I don't know why. mom likes. So normally I do make my own marinara sauce, but my mother-in-law always likes to have to give me this Prego sauce, so hey, might as well use it. And I'm just gonna let this, you know, warm up since it is kind of cold, nice and slow. And I told myself if I don't use all this up, I can just save it, the meat with the sauce, and then just use it to make spaghetti. My girls love spaghetti. But funny story, they don't like lasagna. So for them, I have a big pizza. My father-in-law doesn't like, what's it called, lasagna either. And they're coming over, but my mother-in-law loves lasagna. And my husband does too. So anytime I make it, I always invite them over. So I'm just gonna let this warm up a bit. But I also have some tomato sauce left in the fridge that I want to use up. So pretty much I'm just cleaning out my fridge before I go do some big grocery shopping. Try not to buy groceries if I still have things that I need to get used up. I'm gonna mix that up. And then I don't know about you guys, but I added a little bit more water. Just shake it up just to get the rest of the stuff. There you go. Magic, more sauce. So I'm gonna let this cook on really low, just so it can take, oh my god, if you let marinara sauce or any sauce with meat just cook on low for a little bit, it just becomes way better. It doesn't matter if it's store-bought or homemade. It gets all together. So I do have my oven preheated at 375. Just gonna give this another little mix. Gonna let this cook on low for like a good 10 to 15 minutes, however long it takes me to shred up that cheese by hand, and however long it takes me to shred up that cheese and get my cheese mixture ready to go, and then we'll start layering it in a bit. So I definitely got my workout for the day. I'm gonna do it I'm gonna layer it a little bit different. So I'm gonna put this cheese in here and just have it separate. So I have 2 eggs in here that I cracked. I have the cheese. I'm gonna use cottage cheese, so I do need to use it up. I'm gonna use 2 cups. Of the cottage cheese, and I think that definitely will be more reasonable to finish than having to finish all that at once. I'm gonna give the eggs a mix. I'm gonna give this mix. Then I'm gonna add some pepper. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of the Italian seasoning. Then I looked it up right now and it doesn't have any parsley, so I'm going to add a little bit of parsley in there for the color and flavor. I'm going to mix this up. Normally here I would add the cheese. Now I am doubling my recipe because I have family coming over, but definitely if you need a smaller one, just split it in half, or you can make double it, freeze the other one, might as well, since you're doing all the work to layering this up. And lasagna is really easy to make. It's just time consuming. So definitely if you have everything out, might as well make double. So normally I would add my cheese in here, but this time I'm going to do it a little bit different just to control the cheese. But most likely I will be using all of this up. Okay, we're going to start assembling. So I'm going to start assembling, but I'm going to be adding this cooking spray. And then I'm using this aluminum foil for easy cleanup. Use with what you got, but I bought a big pack of these during the holidays and I still have it. Also going to need some aluminum foil to cover this. I have my meat sauce mixture over here. It was cooking nice and slow. And then I usually use these, the Barilla, the oven ready lasagna noodles. It's just easier. I have a few left over, so I'm going to use these. You can find them at Walmart. That's where I'm getting them, and they're very affordable. The other day I was at Target and I saw these, so I'm going to be trying these out too. So I'm going to use both. I think I'm going to use the whole thing. If not, I'll let you know. But right now I'm going to do is going to put just a ladle full of the sauce in the bottom. You don't have to put too much, it's just in the bottom, so that goes right there. And then I'm going to start assembling my lasagna.
Stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. Yeah, yeah. When things go wrong, it's easy to sing a sad song. Seems like nothing comes for free. Yeah. And it won't take long. Your fragile soul will soon be strong. I'll carry you so tenderly. What I wanna say is that I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. I said I love you forever. We can make it together. Breaks my heart seeing you struggle with the things you do, carrying the one on your shoulder. When did we become so much older? Now I wish I could say that all my troubles gonna blow away, but I won't quit until it gets better, even if it takes me forever. I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling.
These are already ready to go, but as you can see, I still have a lot left. So I'm going to see how these cook up. So I'm going to bake this for about 30 minutes, see how it does, if not 45. I still have a lot of sauce left over. This is probably enough for spaghetti. So tomorrow, if we have leftovers, definitely I will make spaghetti with this. So I'm just going to let the meat sauce cool down, and then I'll put it in the fridge. Definitely just make some spaghetti for my girls, and we'll have the leftover lasagna. The cottage cheese mixture, definitely next time I would probably do 3 cups. It just wasn't enough. And then the cheese, you know, I didn't have quite enough for the top, but it'll be totally fine. So I'm gonna put this in the oven, and I'll be back in a bit to make a salad, and I'm gonna add the garlic bread in the oven at the end, and also add the pizza too soon. Just gonna clean up. So I had it in the oven for 30 minutes, and I just checked it, checked the pasta, see it was fully cooked, nice and bubbly. Definitely could have added more cheese on top, but hey, it's still pretty good, really cheesy. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, and then we will cut through it, and I'm gonna start cutting my salad. That looks amazing. Definitely I could put this in for another 10 more minutes maybe, but definitely I have to let it set for a good 10 to 15 minutes before I cut into this beauty. It smells amazing. So I'm quickly gonna make a salad. I have some spinach here, but if I need extra, I have an extra bag of spinach that I got for as a backup. We've been using them to make smoothies, but I also like adding them in my salads just quick. Have half of an iceberg that I need to use up. I also need to use up these carrots, so I might add in the whole things. They're a bit frozen, so I'm hoping by dinner time they thaw out. If not, we will definitely be having some cold carrots. I got a cucumber. I probably won't use all of it, but at least 3/4 of it. I always have to save some for my youngest. She loves them. If not, I'll just use half. And then I got 3 tomatoes. Are you okay, Mama? 3 tomatoes, and I will be adding on top. And I quickly will make this salad happen. Uh-oh. Okay, so I definitely didn't need that extra bag of spinach. That was plenty of spinach, but if I do need more, I will add it in. Might as well, since I'm chopping everything up. I just got this ready to go for my youngest. Loves tomatoes, will eat tomatoes like an apple. And then she loves cucumbers and dipping them, and peppers too, and dipping them in ranch. So just try this new ranch. I just gave it a quick little taste. It is pretty good. I picked this up at Aldi and pretty good. And then my oldest likes cucumbers, but she likes them with a little bit of lime juice and tahini. And if you don't know what tahini is, this is what the bottle looks like. This is usually comes smaller. This is a Costco size. Gives your fruits and vegetables really good flavor. It has a little kick. So those are just, you know, might as well chop them up. I will put that for their lunches for tomorrow. I chopped up my my lettuce, oops, and rinsed it. Well, probably didn't rinse it that good. Okay, got a big one there. And then I'm just gonna give this a mix and start adding in all my toppings. Weren't as frozen as I thought they were. They're just pretty fresh. And if you're wondering, yes, I make a hot mess all the time in the kitchen. Most of the stuff is edited out, but hey, this is real life. I love cooking, but by no means everything is done neat. I clean as I go, but I do make a hot mess. You know what? I'm gonna add the rest of this because this is just a little bit. Might as well. Kind of looks like cheese. That's why I like getting this when it's just ready to go, but Mama needed to use it up. Looking like a carrot salad now, if that's such a thing. I like too much carrot now. Oh well. Living on the dangerous side. Yeah, earlier, you don't even want to know what happened, but I'm going to let you know because we're here. You know, we're in this together already. I had all the egg stuff here. I had 2 eggs, 1 egg rolled over there. Thank God my husband came home at the perfect timing. He was able to move the freezer and I was able to clean in there. Didn't get it on film, but real life. Okay, and then I'm just going to be putting the tomatoes on top. Put some under. Oops, let me get a topper there. I will just slice this around. I don't throw those away. Just don't want. Oops, told you. It's okay. Extra protein. Not a huge tomato fan in my salads, but if it's in there, I just eat it, whatever, it's fine. Not a big deal. It's good for you. Just tuck them in there, my hands are clean. This is just a simple salad that I make. Just reminds me of like the ones that my mom and my mother-in-law makes. Very simple, like lettuce, carrots, tomatoes, and then they would come in like this wooden bowl. I really want to get a wooden bowl. But yeah, that's my salad. Gonna clean up and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. So I'm gonna follow the directions on this pizza, but besides lasagna, we're also having pizza. This is mainly gonna be for my kids and my father-in-law, and if maybe my husband or my brother-in-law, they wanna have a slice. But my girls do not like lasagna and my father-in-law doesn't like lasagna. So anytime I make lasagna, I invite my in-laws because my mother-in-law loves it. And I always make it with pizza because my girls don't like it and my father-in-law doesn't like it. So I always get a pizza for them. They like pizza. And then I got this garlic bread. This is just a 5 cheese one. I'm going to make this and follow the directions and put them in the oven to go with the lasagna. So I will show you what dinner looks like in a bit. Okay, so the pizza's out of the oven. I'm gonna cut it up. This is the cheesy bread. It looks really, really good. I think. Oh yeah, you already want some, huh? Some yummies.
Mommy,
Mande.
I want yummies.
You want some yummies, huh?
Mommy,
Mande.
I want yummies.
Okay, we'll get you some yummies.
Okay.
Are you gonna eat salad?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I want yummies.
Okay.
Eat, 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 eat.
You wanna eat.
Mommy, no. Mommy, bye. Mommy, daddy.
These pizzas, they have them in the refrigerated section. They're not frozen. So you could definitely freeze them if you have the space in your freezer. Now it's quiet, but the little ones are coming out the way. Whew, that was a workout. So that's what it's gonna look like. Pizza and salad, lasagna, and then this is my little setup over here. I got the salad. That's my water I'm gonna have right now. I made Kool-Aid. My daughter's been asking for Kool-Aid, so I'm so excited. I finally got sugar to make her some Kool-Aid. Had a few of these croutons, so we'll definitely use those up. But my mother-in-law, knowing her, she might bring her croutons too. She always brings extra stuff. She's so sweet. Got the creamy, got the ranch, got the balsamic vinaigrette, which is my favorite, and my husband's favorite Italian. It's an Italian, a little bit left of it. Italian, I do have a new one. Italian dressing with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, so that's really good on a salad. And we're gonna wait for the family to come over. So this is what the lasagna looks like. It was so good. I will definitely be making this again. I think 2 cups of cottage cheese was just fine. I definitely would just make sure to spread it out evenly. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching and hope you guys enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
¡Oh, mucho! Para que sepa buena la ensalada.
¿Cómo te dijo el doctor? Con mucho ranch.
¿No le puedo quitar algo?
Sí, ve, embárrale otro.
Oh,
¿Por qué quieres un poco?
no me gusta embarrar. A mí me gusta
All the
embarrar.
girls already ate.
Oh.
Ay.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours.